I want you to picture something for a second. You're in a meeting at work or, maybe sitting around a table at a family gathering, and out of nowhere, someone accuses you of something that is just flat out untrue. What happens? What physically happens in your body? Your heart rate probably spikes, your chest gets all tight, and you get this immediate, almost frantic instinct to defend yourself, right? You just want to jump right in, explain every little detail, give all the context, and prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that you are right. Honestly, it's totally human nature. But as we're going to see here, following that frantic urge might actually be working against you. Today, we're breaking down the fascinating psychology behind why truly emotionally intelligent people rarely ever explain themselves. So there's this really fascinating paradox when it comes to defending yourself. Have you ever noticed that the more you explain, the less people actually seem to believe you? It's completely baffling. But then think about the calmest person in the room. You know the one. They sit back, they listen, and they say almost nothing when they're challenged. And yet, somehow, that silent person ends up earning the absolute most respect. Why on earth does that happen? Well, for the longest time, society has kind of framed staying quiet during a confrontation as a weakness, like you're just afraid of conflict. But the truth we're exploring today completely flips that on its head. Emotionally intelligent people don't stay quiet out of fear. They actually use silence as this deeply hidden form of psychological strength. Let's look at how we typically handle conflict. When a highly emotionally reactive person feels misunderstood, whether that's in a super tense office dispute or one of those heated online arguments, their frantic need to justify themselves just takes the wheel. But here's the kicker. Constantly defending yourself actually hands over control of the conversation. You're literally handing over your emotional state, handing them the steering wheel. An emotionally intelligent person, though, they keep their hands firmly on that wheel. They stay calm, they stay composed, and their silence is incredibly intentional. They know this one fundamental truth. Not every accusation deserves an explanation, and definitely not every opinion deserves your energy.
Which brings us to pillar 1, releasing the need for validation.
To really grasp this kind of psychological strength, we have to look at how emotionally intelligent folks actually define confidence, because it all comes down to releasing that deep need for external validation. In this context, true confidence is the unwavering trust in your own character and your own decisions, completely independent of whether everyone else agrees with you. Picture an internal balance scale. Emotionally intelligent people, they put their own self-worth on the heavy side of that scale, and the opinions of others on the lighter side. Look, most of us feel really uncomfortable when we're misunderstood, right? We just hope that if everyone finally understands our perspective, we'll feel validated. But ironically, those desperate attempts to convince people you're right, they just reveal your own internal uncertainty. Real confidence doesn't shout. It stays calm, grounded, and totally self-validated. All right, moving right along to pillar 2, the mechanics of doubt. So, why exactly does over-explaining backfire so badly? Well, imagine you ask someone a direct question. A short, confident answer carries a ton of weight. It implies total certainty. But endless justification, like adding more and more details to build this impenetrable wall of evidence just to prove your innocence, it unintentionally sounds super defensive. We humans are just wired to look for patterns, and we so often mistake excessive justification for deep insecurity. Think about it. Even if you're telling the absolute 100% truth, the more words you throw at a problem, the less solid your foundation actually appears to the listener. Next up is pillar 3, identifying the wrong audience. Let's break down the manipulator's playbook for a second. We all know that one person. Maybe it's a highly critical family member at Thanksgiving, or literally a complete stranger starting a ridiculous argument in a Facebook comment section. Why do they even argue? Well, they do it to feel superior, to gain a sense of control, or honestly, just to provoke an emotional reaction out of you. To them, it's just a game of chess. They aren't actually searching for the truth, they're searching for your attention. They want you to get all riled up and start over-explaining, because the second you do, boom, they've won the game. But emotionally intelligent people see right through the masks these manipulators wear, and they flat out refuse to even sit down at the chessboard. Before an emotionally intelligent person utters a single word of defense, they hit pause, and they ask themselves this really simple but incredibly powerful internal question. Is this person actually willing to listen? If the answer is no, if they sense this person is just fishing for a reaction or has completely made up their mind already, they immediately refuse to play the game. Honestly, it's a brilliant, highly effective way to just save your energy. And this brings us to the climax, protecting your peace. Everything we've been talking about so far really builds to this one overarching principle.
I want you to think of your emotional well-being like a house. Every single time you engage in an unnecessary argument or you try to over-explain yourself to someone who is just committed to misunderstanding you, you are essentially taking the keys to your mood and handing them right over to a manipulator. You're letting them inside. But silence acts like a locked door. When you choose your words carefully or you decide just not to respond at all, you keep that door firmly locked. You keep the power and you keep the peace, entirely for yourself. Because here's the thing, silence isn't about avoiding conflict. It's actually making the conscious decision that your peace of mind is way more valuable than proving a point. Emotionally intelligent people simply do not feel this burning need to win every single conversation. They get that engaging in a pointless battle is actually a massive loss of their own time and energy. They know that in so many situations, offering absolutely no response is actually the strongest, most unshakable response you can possibly give.
Let's wrap things up with the actionable conclusion. So, here is a clear-cut rule you can take away from this explainer and apply to literally any relationship starting today. Step 1. When someone genuinely wants to understand you, like they are approaching you in good faith with open curiosity, then yeah, by all means, communicate honestly and clearly. Emotionally intelligent people aren't closed off. They value real connection. But step 2, when someone has already decided to misunderstand you, no amount of explaining is going to magically change their mind. In those moments, your silence is not a surrender, it is an act of profound self-respect. It's you standing there saying, my energy is simply too valuable to waste here. Always remember this. Your character will speak louder than your words ever could. The strongest people in any room are rarely the loudest ones. They're the people who know exactly when to speak, when to actively listen, and when to simply walk away without feeling that nagging, frantic need to prove anything to anyone. Real confidence isn't about having the perfect, bulletproof argument ready to go. It's just about trusting yourself. I want to leave you with a final lingering thought today. The very next time you feel that urgent spike in your heart rate and that frantic need to justify yourself to a critic, I want you to take a deep breath and ask yourself this: am I explaining because it's genuinely necessary, or am I just doing this because I'm seeking approval? Answering that honestly, it could literally change the way you handle conflict forever. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope this helps you protect your peace.